This is my daily radio show. Let's see. Okay, that's 11 seconds of nothing. Nothing but intro. Nothing but me saying that I'm here and I'm going to do the show. It's the Intendor radio show. On Facebook. On YouTube. I've been using Facebook as the content prompt. One time I used LinkedIn. And let's see what kind of prompts I get off of. It's my read feed. It starts out with what's on my mind, what's on your mind. I feel like I should be giving more speeches. I wanted to schedule one for the Looking Glass. And then I see Vince Silva shared Jesse Ventura's photo. How does a bill work? That's an easy one, Billy. Corporations write the bill, and then they bribe our elected officials until the bill passes. Well, that's not entirely true. You could write a bill. You could write a resolution. I've been learning to write resolutions. I wrote a resolution. I read it yesterday again. It's not really as hard as you might think to run. I've called the FEC, Federal Election Commission. And they say, when you get $5,000, tell us. Don't take any unfair advantage of some other candidate. Don't do things he can't do, or they can't do, she can't do. And basically keep good records of what you spend. My plan, my strategic plan, is once I get to the point, if I get filed, if I actually have a committee and I get filed, I want to fly around to all the, I'd love to fly myself. We'll see if my license will do for a light sport utility. But I could navigate. I did all my flying. I never took my Checkride. And it was $500, and I never had it. At once after I'd done everything else. And then I went and wrote for a TV show, and then I was taking it all over again. It expired. The written that I took and passed, it expired, and then I was taking it at Guilford Technical Institute in Greensboro, and I got a job on a movie called Happy Camper, and I went and worked on the movie. Craig Zerfoss puts up Kid Rock, and Ted Nugent record Kiss My Rebel Ass. Anthem in defense of the Confederate battle flag. Well, see, you wonder what these guys were taught in school. I'd like to see some of these textbooks. I know I got thrown out of history class by an ex-FBI teacher for challenging her posit that the Vietnam War was the first war of its kind conducted by the American military, when in fact in 1899, starting in 1898, 1899, turn of the century, the United States decided it was going to follow the edicts written up in a book by a guy named Mahan. So we wanted places for our battleships. At the time, Cuba was weak, and war was manufactured by the Hearst papers, and we ended up with Puerto Rico, and we went to the Philippines, and we did some horrible things. It's there and then that the soul of the United States was well perverted. Next up is Michael McKinnon. For those of you who don't remember, my mom entered the monastic life many years ago, and I'm very proud of her. This is the story about one of her sisters at St. Placid Priory in Lacey, Washington. Good stuff. They celebrate members' 70th Jubilee. I guess at Jubilee's just become a party, but it used to be a lot of debts were canceled in the year of the Jubilees. If only this is John Kramer, who I don't really know, only the effing capitalists would leave these people alone. In southern Tanzania, the farmers, mainly women, are doing fine, but big business is trying to sell them huge machinery and GMO seeds they don't need. Leave them alone. Well, my website isn't working. It's broken. It was supposed to get mobile. It just didn't work out. I hope it's back fixed soon, because I can't file. I can't post very well. I can't print it out. I can't send it. Maasai women are leading a solar revolution with help from their donkeys. They're hauling solar devices on donkeys from village to village, providing light and power to homes along the way. Our local hardware stores don't even carry solar lighting stuff. It's I gotta send off for it. I'm gonna send off for it so I can survive the complete breakdown. So I'll be able to charge something or charge things, or run a radio. It says, this is what we've learned about Pluto in the past 24 hours. They're learning things every single day. Exploration is a true planet-wide. Today I learned a moment. Oh, now this is what's really, okay, the U.S. Department of State, the United States strongly condemns the horrific and indiscriminate Boko Haram suicide attack on the Grand Marche in the Chadian capital of N'Djamena on Saturday, July 11th, as well as attacks in Cameroon, Niger, and Nigeria over the past 2 days. Boko Haram attacks. That's sad. Those nations over there need to be able to, if they weren't so corrupt, I guess they'd be able to take care of their people. Well, and then Trump. He's the big news. Donald Trump isn't a joke to Republican voters anymore. And that's what it says as it goes by. Make a mess, but then also help to tidy it up, Argentinian pontiff said in an address to Paraguay youth. Pope calls on world youth to rise up against global capitalism. Okay, well, the I Ching says after chaos comes order. I guess he was reading the I Ching. I believe in throwing the I Ching for the readings that you get. You can throw them to the reading to the day for the New Testament, I prefer. And you get a complete sense of time. The two books are the most living books I know, and they work well together. Is the Trans-Pacific Partnership unconstitutional? Provisions that allow foreign investors to bypass the federal courts could undermine U.S. legal protections. As far as I can tell, and according to a constitutional lawyer that was published on Naked Capitalism a while back, there were some hair-splitting words that would possibly make it not unconstitutional, but for the most part, the spirit of it is unconstitutional. It's outrageous. I can't believe it. I'm afraid Obama's going to do a Woodrow Wilson and or a Roosevelt and try and throw everything over to the international community as he exits, with horrific results as far as international peace. Roosevelt didn't want to confront the difficulty of Zionism And immediately after the United Nations was formed, majority rule was abrogated by the pressures of the Zionists. Then it was Korea, and in essence, totally, actually, the United Nations was left with a lot less respect because of those events. A lot to say that UN was manipulated by the United States so that, who was it, Chiang Kai-shek could end up in Formosa and turn it into Taiwan. All right, that's enough. They talk about Scott Walker.